Overpaying for anything sucks, especially socks, so why pay $45 for a single pair of grip socks when you can spend less than half? Pure Grip Socks Pro feature our best materials for optimal fit, moisture wicking, and performance at a fair price, just $16.99 a pair at puregripsocks.com.
It feels like it's been a while since Messi got a new pair of boots, and depending on what your opinion is, you might be super excited or super disappointed by what Adidas has come up with. Ladies and gentlemen, the Balon Te Adoro, which translates to I love you ball, Messi Adidas X Speedportal.1, his latest signature football boot, the first for the new Speedportal generation, featuring a color combination of white, orange, and black, and retailing for $260, a $10 premium over a regular Speedportal.1 colorway, with no physical differences other than the graphics on the surface. But don't worry, you can get these below their normal retail price by way of some exclusive SR4U coupon codes by checking out the first link down below. So, focusing on the colorway, let me know your thoughts on the way these look down in the comment section. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Why or why not? As far as the design itself is concerned, I have to say I like the color combination of the white base with the orange and black details. I actually think it looks quite good. However, I have to admit I'm a little bit disappointed with the Adidas design department, in particular when it comes to Messi signatures, because it feels like the last several of them have consisted of words and not much else. And unfortunately, there really isn't much to this design other than words that define Messi and things that are important to him, like friends and family. Obviously, he's good on the ball, so there's references to that with unstoppable written in both English and Spanish on the football boots. And as a whole, they kind of look like they were custom painted, which you may or may not like. But overall, I'm just not really all that excited by these, and to a certain extent, they almost feel uninspired. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing with putting words on a football boot. Words are a powerful thing after all, but it seems like every Messi signature seems to consist of the same couple words, just in varying patterns. This one, I think, kind of giving this silhouette a little bit more of a chunkier look than some of the more plain colorways that we've seen so far. What I do like about this is the tone-on-tone white. So you can see you kind of have this semi-translucent white that almost has a yellowy tinge to it, and then printed on the surface in white that you can hardly read is a much brighter white shade. Black stripes with the orange outline. The orange laces, I think, are a nice little detail. There is some mismatching happening on the upper, and that the words aren't exactly the same as far as I'm aware on either side, but the thing that really stands out is the Adidas logo here on the medial side of the right boot, and then on the left boot you're going to find a half orange and half black Messi logo, which I thought was a cool little touch. And for those that hate when brands put players' names all over a pair of football boots, the only visible Messi branding is that one logo. It does not say Messi anywhere on either upper. However, his name can be found on the insoles, which admittedly are pretty cool and very subtly mismatched. In my opinion, the coolest detail on these boots. And then as a base, you'll find that the sole plate is in orange plastic, no wearable finish to be found here. I love the look of the visible carbon fiber and the translucent studs, although I will admit this shade of orange, which flows into these stability wings, hopefully it comes through in the video, is a little bit darker and significantly more dull than the very vibrant, almost solar orange color that we're used to seeing from Adidas. It just kind of looks like they don't match properly. I'm sure they could have made this a little bit brighter, but I definitely don't think it's a deal breaker. As for the performance side of things, like I mentioned at the start of the video, there is physically nothing different about this Messi colorway. The one thing I will point out is because of the graphics, particularly here in the white area of the football boot, you can see a little bit of that micro texturing a little bit more clearly, but you'll also find it on any other colorway of the Speedflow.1. So we're not going to go over all the details of performance in this one. If you're looking to learn more about the Speedportal.1, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen to my full detailed review where I cover absolutely everything that you need to know if you are at all considering these for your next boots. On feet, I must admit that these do look better, and I am partial towards white boots in general, but I still look at this design and say to myself, Messi deserves more. With a guy that's had the career that he's had, you would think that there's more storytelling opportunity by way of signature colorway designs other than just writing friends and family on his boots every couple months. Nonetheless, the boots do fit like regular Speedportal.1s, which is a good or bad thing depending on what your opinion of this boot is. For those that have seen my review, you know that I think that they're a little bit stiff compared to the Speedflow.1 that they replaced. And if you're really comparing this to a past X model, it's more X Ghosted than it is X Speedflow, which you may or may not like. It's a stiff boot, the heel is kind of chunky. I just think there's way too much padding and it's not as locked in as I would like them to be. But in terms of lockdown and responsiveness, when it comes to changing direction, there's way more structure to this upper, so they do feel more secure on your feet versus the Speedflow.1, which had a slightly stretchy feel to the upper that I personally preferred just based on comfort alone. But again, it totally is a matter of personal preference. As far as width is concerned, because of the more structured, kind of rigid feel to the upper, I wouldn't say these are a great option for somebody with really wide feet. If you don't like a tight fit through the midfoot specifically, these probably wouldn't be a great idea. But at the same time, I do think they are going to be wide enough to fit most people, as long as you don't have excessively wide feet. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing these in my usual size 9.5 US. So if you are looking to get a pair, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. They're cool boots for Messi. I think that they'll go over pretty well, but overall, as far as signature design is concerned, I think they're a little bit uninspired.